Hi Neil. First of all, let me thank you for all the work you've done for Bowls Australia over the last 15 years and congratulate you on your new appointment. I had the opportunity to sit on the committee that interviewed you back in 2006 and I've got to say we did a fantastic job. We really made the right decision. One of the things that confirmed with me that we made that right decision was a trip that I did with you to Scotland in 2006 when we went to talk to the people who were involved with the Atlantic Rim Games in air. And you spoke to them in your particular convincing and calm manner and convinced them that the change that were needed for our 2012 games in Adelaide, you did that very, very well. And that convinced me that we had made the right decision. You taught me a great deal during the 4 years that I had as president and supported me right through. And so, Neil, I'd like to once again thank you for the support you've given to me, for your friendship, both socially and professionally, and you will be a loss to Bowls Australia, but you'll be a great asset to World Bowls. Well done, Neil.
Hi, Neil. Congratulations on achieving 15 years with BA, and now it all comes to an end, mate. Bit like my time when I was president of BA, and it came to an end and went off to World Bowls just as you're going. I can still remember when we first met at Burwood Road at the old offices, when I went there in another capacity and you talked me into becoming an appointed director of Bowls Australia, for which I'm forever been grateful. Our time together has been a great one, mate. We've achieved a lot. All those lunches that we went out to together and plotted our little track along the way, and we've achieved, and you've achieved, and I'm very, very proud to have been part of it with you. Anyhow, mate, best of luck in your new adventure, our venture. It's going to be a hard one. I know the road, and it's a bit rocky, but you'll get there. You're determined, and you'll get there, and I'm sure that you'll achieve again, as you have with Bowls Australia.
Hi, Neil. Unfortunately, the motor neurone disease that Nigel has prevents him from talking for any length of time, so I'm happy to convey his thoughts to you. Neil, my heartiest congratulations on your past 15 years as CEO of Bowls Australia. You have seen many changes to the sport over these years. I was fortunate enough to be on the board of Bowls Australia for 6 years during part of your reign, and as president for 2 of those years. Some of the highlights were as follows: the relocation of the Blue Ribbon event, the Australian Open, from an industrial area in Melbourne to the iconic Gold Coast. Our dealings with Tourism and Events Queensland and the Gold Coast City Council allowed us to capture significant sponsorship over the next 10 years. The event is now a major highlight on the bowls calendar of most bowlers in Australia. In the early days of this change, I know I was somewhat of a pest in driving this move to the Gold Coast, but I just believed this area ticked all the boxes for this event. In fact, I was proud to be nicknamed the Mayor of the Gold Coast. But together and with the support of the board, this event stands alone as, I believe, the best event in the world. The development of BPL. This event had many detractors in its early years, but it has now developed into a major event, but an important event to promote the sport of bowls. Getting bowls back on TV, the revitalisation of the Australian Open and the development of BPL paved the way for getting bowls back on TV. But your work with SBS and later Fox now appears to have cemented our involvement with television. Well done. The success at the 2018 Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast, where Australia recorded a record number of gold medals and medals in total. That success does not come easy, and a strong and well-led administration is critical for such success. We all know how hard sponsorship is to get, but you and your team have worked tirelessly at getting quality sponsorship into the organisation. Tourism and Events Queensland and Gold Coast City Council, to name a couple. Finally, Neil, I enjoyed working with you over those 6 years, and I know you can be very proud of what you have achieved over your 15 years as CEO. I wish you the very best in your new role as CEO of World Bowls, and I know you will do a fabulous job. Take care and cheers from Nigel and myself.
Well done, Neil. I'm very happy to be able to say a few words as you get ready to depart Bowls Australia and start on a new venture. Most people would know Neil and I have been associated for more than 25 years in various capacities as colleagues and certainly as friends over that period. We worked together many years ago at softball, and over the last 10 years we've worked for the sport of bowls. I've said on a number of occasions publicly that I think that Neil is amongst the finest sporting administrators that I've worked with and come across in the many years that I've been involved in sports administration, and he leaves Bowls Australia in a wonderful position, and he's to be congratulated for the body of work that he's done over the period he's been with them. Once again, well done, Neil. Congratulations, and please don't be late for work on the 1st of December. Cheers, mate.
G'day, Neil. Just sorry to interrupt, mate, but I know you'll be probably getting your navy blue World Bowls blazer being fitted at a Touric tailor as we speak, of course with matching monogram cravat, but so I'll be brief. Look, mate, on behalf of the current and in fact 27 state CEOs who have met their demise under your watch, would just like to thank you for the guidance and the sage advice that you've been able to provide all of us over those 15 years. Of course, it didn't help, 27 of them, but I'm sure if they were also here today, they would also echo those sentiments. Of course, you well remember many of those names: Viney, Tomlin, Turnbull, Tozer, Bethwaite, Fullerton, Burks, Schultz, Hanlon, Farr, Little, Scales, Eastoe, Palazzi, Tiller, Cantwell, Walsh, Gatt. The list seemingly goes on. Even Collings and Glossop from our own here in the West. And of course, who forget Bridgie? And of course, that fateful night where you tried to bump him off at one of the SCB meetings. No doubt all those would welcome your support and guidance over the years, although some be more brief than they perhaps would have liked to have occurred. Of course, the hard slog at the SCB meetings was we were normally all caught up at least once a year, enjoying those rotating agenda items such as the BCIB National Insurance Plan, the introduction and the toing and froing of the National Affiliation Fee, the Bowls Connect database, famously put into the box at Darebin, the original passing of the BA Constitution, or one of my personal favourites, of course, the supposed introduction of the Bowls Australia Affinity Card. Tempered, of course, though, by the Dalrymple choice of venues. How could we forget the Salt Resort in Kingscliff, the RACV in Healesville, or any number of Mantra hotels up and down the Gold Coast, the magnificent Cleveland Winery or the Crown Plaza in the Hawkesbury Valley, to name just a few. I remember well John Hanna, the first time around on the BA board, told me when I became CEO 12 years ago that the national meetings were always held at the airport hotel. Not under Dalrymple's watch, is what I could confidently be able to reply. Speaking of which, mate, on behalf of all those STAs that are here and long gone, past and present, I salute you for the final time as our BA CEO, and thank you for your genuine friendship and advice over my 12 years, with, as only appropriate, an outstanding glass of Dalrymple Pinot. Thanks, Neil. Cheers, mate.
Well, once upon a time, we all might have thought this was going to be the vehicle to get Neil to sporting stardom in Australia, a cricket bat or a ball, but unfortunately, and alas, a very average suburban cricketer. In fact, one of the worst we've seen. Thankfully, though, he's proved to be one of Australia's best ever bowls and sports executives. And what a contribution to Bowls Australia it's been. Transformed the sport, built fantastic relationships through broadcast, through states, through participation and through sponsor. His legacy in Australian bowls is second to none, and we're all very excited that he goes on to this journey of being the World Bowls CEO and stays very close to our bowls family in Australia. A pioneer, an innovator, a wonderful person, great dad. It's been fantastic to get to know his daughter Steph too, and he's brought a family along the way, and he's done Bowls Australia proud with everything other than probably his weekend cricket exploits, which he somehow maintained. And I think even now he's a better bowler from a bowl sense than he is from a cricket sense, and that's not a hard thing to do given how much he struggled with his cricket over the journey. But what a journey in bowls. Congratulations, Neil, in all seriousness, and best of luck for the next move. You'll absolutely smash it.